Hey guys, today I'm going to be reacting to a video called Public Transport in Germany Explained. Things to know when moving to Germany.
Hi guys, if you're planning to move to Germany or if you're visiting Germany, one of the things that you will need to figure out is how to get around. Cabs are an option, yes,
But they're expensive.
Do you have to sell a kidney to afford them every day? You might have to. They are crazy expensive. A very short ride could easily cost you one meal outside in a restaurant, and if you take a bit longer drive, it will cost you definitely a night in hotel. Don't worry, public transport in Germany is here to save us all. And today I'm going to talk about everything you need to know about it. Different type of transport options, where to buy tickets, how to navigate, where to check schedules. We will cover everything today. If you're new here, my name is Rashmi and I'm an Indian expat living in Germany for around 6 years now. I share videos about my experiences in Germany as an expat, also some travel videos. So if you are interested in such content, please do not forget to subscribe to my channel. Let's get back to the topic. Let's talk about different types of transport options. Whether you are in big cities or smaller ones, you will definitely use one of these options. I'll start with ICE trains, or as people call in Germany, ICE. These are the fast trains and they usually go long distances within Germany and also outside Germany. Their maximum speed could be up to 300 kilometers per hour.
Oh, that's fast.
If you're arriving in Germany with flight and you need to go to another city, for example, you're coming to Frankfurt via flight and you have to go to Stuttgart or Düsseldorf, then that's your best option. Now, the second option for long distance trains is
They're slower?
or RB trains, which are called Regionalbahn. Not all long distance journeys would need an ICE. For relatively shorter distance between cities, you can also go for RE or RB. And they have maybe more stops than ICE, but to compare the price, they are way cheaper than the fast trains.
You're paying for
speed. To a destination which takes 1 hour with ICE and 1.5 hours with RE, it would make sense to buy a Regionalbahn ticket. It will be more cost friendly.
Of course, if you're not in a hurry.
Now, next up is S-Bahn, which you will definitely find in bigger cities, and they connect also the cities to the suburb areas. Since I'm from Delhi, I will give the comparison from Delhi. You can take it as the metros that connect Delhi to its NCR region, and they're also super common in big cities like Berlin, Cologne, Munich, Düsseldorf, Hamburg, and many more.
But it's the suburbs to
the next one is U-Bahn, which are like the subways, and they usually run underground. They are ideal for traveling within city and shorter distances. And the good part is, if you have a big event going in the cities, then they are usually unaffected by that because the city center area, they're usually underground. For example, in Düsseldorf, we had Carnival a few weeks back, and we could easily reach city center because U-Bahns in the city center area are underground.
Oh my God, it was so crowded.
Without any issues.
Well,
so you could easily reach city center even when there's a huge festival going around and you expect large crowd.
Yeah.
And next one is trams. Many German cities have tram systems, which are also really fun and efficient way to travel within the city. And the last one is, of course, buses. So the places where usually the trams and U-Bahns would not reach, the bus would connect the whole small areas of the city. Even if somebody is living in remote areas of a city, you can easily reach there by buses. The frequency might be a little less there usually, but you will definitely reach every town.
Good.
If you're new and you do not have any app, Google Maps is your best bet. And when you enter your destination, Google Maps would generally show you the options available and also the schedule. Can you always rely on that information? I don't think so.
No, yes.
It does not show all the connections, especially buses. And also the timing sometimes are not real time. Like if there is a delay in a bus or a tram or a train, it generally does not show it. DB Navigator, one of the best apps which will help you across whole Germany. It gives more real-time information. When you enter a destination, it will not only show you the connections, but once you choose the connection, it will also show you the ticket options that you have. And you can select one of those ticket options and buy the ticket. So if you're planning to come to Germany for more than a few days, I would really recommend you to install DB Navigator in your mobile and also register a payment method there. So whenever you want, you can easily book a ticket and you don't have to go through a lot of hassle.
Yeah, you can just book your.
Apart from
your
DB Navigator, if
ticket
you're
there.
planning to live in a city for longer time, you can also install the local transport app. Usually every city has its own
every
transport
city has
authority,
it.
and then they have also apps for it. There you get more information about schedules, connections, and tickets. But if you do not want to install so many apps in your mobile, I think DB Navigator is your best bet.
Yeah, you have to go every time you go to a new city.
There's
You
so
have to
many
download the
options for
new app.
ticket, and one would easily get confused about which ticket to buy. So let me talk about most of the ticket options that are available on all the apps and that you can choose. First one would be single tickets. It's usually for one-way trips and they're
Makes
valid
sense.
for around 2 hours. So if you have to go from point A to
Just 2
point
hours?
Z, you can get down at B, you can take another tram from point C, and then you can finally reach to Z. But you have to make sure that you are going in one direction. If at any
course,
point
it's
you are
one way.
coming back from point B to A, you have to buy another single ticket.
of course.
So one single ticket is valid only for one direction. It's very easy on the app when you're buying it. One can see in the ticket from where to where you bought this ticket for. So it's very easy for somebody to check the direction you're traveling in. But if you're buying a ticket, there are also machines for validating the ticket. And we will talk about it in the later section. And now I
We
talk
have it
about the next ticket.
in the
single
station.
ticket, you also have the option of buying Kurzstrecke ticket, which is like only a
What is
small
that?
distance ticket. If you have to travel only 2 or 3 stops, you can also buy this ticket, which is cheaper than the single ticket. Next
It's
one
cheaper?
is day ticket, and as the name suggests, they are for the full day. In some cities, it is valid for 24 hours from when you bought the ticket, but in some cities, they are valid till 3 a.m. for the next morning. And then
Just
there
3
are
a.m.
also
very
group
specific.
tickets, which you can buy for multiple people. More people are traveling together, you buy this ticket,
like as a
then
group,
you get
yeah.
discount, and at the end, it's more cheap. There are also some Schönswochenende tickets that are called weekend tickets, where you have unlimited travel within a region, and then if
That's
you're
good
traveling on
for
weekend
weekend trips.
somewhere, then you definitely have to check out that option. If you're planning to stay in Germany for more than a couple of weeks, or if you're living in Germany, I would really suggest you to buy Deutschland ticket. And with this ticket, you can travel across Germany, even from one city to another city. Price for this ticket was 49 euro last year, but now this year
What,
the price
monthly
has
or
been
what?
changed to 58 euros. And if you're traveling
Okay,
a lot, you're still saving a lot of money.
Yeah, but how is it
Things that
monthly?
you have to keep in mind when you're buying Deutschland ticket is it does not cover any fast trains like IC or ICE.
Makes
Now, the
sense.
next
That's a
important
small
thing
letters.
is where else to buy the ticket if you do not have the app. For example, when I moved to Germany, we had opened the bank account on day one, but in my account, actually, I did not have any money, and I forgot to link my husband's account to my app. And now I have to travel somewhere, and he's in a meeting, and what do? He took a quick break and he
You're
booked a
stranded.
ticket for me and sent me the screenshot. But the screenshot of a ticket is usually not valid. So it is only valid if you
Oh my God,
show
in
it
the
your
app?
where they can check your identity. So where else you can buy ticket in such situation? On
In the station, I
train
hope.
stations, there are also counters where you can go and buy the tickets from them. On all the train station and
Don't they have
also
machines?
U-Bahn stations, they
Yeah.
have machines where you can buy the tickets. The options that you see in app for the tickets, the same options you also have in the machines. Good part is the
They got the
machines
same, I
do
hope.
not only accept cards, but they also accept cash. Now,
that's
what
great.
if you are in a situation when you do not have an U-Bahn station where you can buy the tickets from the machine? You probably have to take a bus. In that case, you can buy the ticket directly from the bus driver. So you board the bus and ask your driver for a ticket, and then he will help you with that.
Doesn't
In
that take a long
usually
time?
The card would not work. So you have to have cash if
Oh,
you want
no.
to buy the ticket from the bus driver.
That sucks.
So now I talk about validating your ticket, something that I talked briefly about in another section. Let's talk about it in detail. If you're buying a ticket from the app, you do not have to usually validate it. But if you take a single ticket from the machine or from the bus driver, you usually have to validate the ticket. It's not the case if you're buying a single day ticket because that's for the single day and then you don't need any validation.
Of course.
So for the single tickets, what's special you have to do? If you're in a tram or in a bus, they usually have a place to validate the ticket. You can
like a
scan your
machine.
ticket and it will be validated. Now, if you're taking an S-Bahn, they usually do not have anything to validate your ticket inside an S-Bahn. Then what you have to do? In S-Bahn, you have to validate your ticket before boarding the train. You usually will have a machine to validate your ticket on the platform or somewhere on the station.
It's like a check-in.
Here's something really important, that in Germany, there's no blocked entry to any station, so you do not have to scan your ticket anywhere to get the entry. Like, you will enter directly. It's like usually trusted. People must buy the ticket. In case
Yeah,
someone
what happens if you don't?
nobody's checking my ticket, I can still
Exactly.
enter a train or a bus. I would really recommend you to not do it, because
Okay.
usually there are some random checks, and there will be
Checkups, yeah.
people who will board the train and check
That's
your
so
tickets.
embarrassing.
And if you do not have a valid ticket at that time, then you will have to pay a hefty fine. And
Okay,
if
they don't take you to
are
jail. That's
caught
good.
without tickets more than 4 or 5 times, you can actually go to prison for
Oh,
that.
you can go to prison. Okay.
So now let's talk about the common mistakes one can do when you are new in Germany. One is, of course, buying your ticket and not validating it. It could
What
land you
happens
in
if you
trouble.
don't?
And second thing would be not paying attention to the display board and the announcements, because sometimes there are last minute platform changes. If you are in a smaller town,
God.
the announcement might
And you go
not
to
be
another
in English.
city?
It would be great to know the basic German words for that. And if
Yeah.
there is a cancellation of the train or delayed train, you should also check those details in the app before you start from your home. It could
Good,
be
yeah,
possible that the train has been cancelled, and in that case you have
Always
to
good
check
advice.
the options. So it's always good to keep an eye on your app. Now that's a wrap from my side on public transport in Germany, and I hope this video was helpful to you, whether you're planning to visit or live here. If you found the information helpful, do not forget to like, and if you know more useful information that I missed, please do not hesitate to mention in the comments. Or if you would like to know more, you can also write it in the comment section. And of course, subscribe to my channel for more useful tips as an expat in Germany. I'll see you in the next video. Safe travels and bye-bye.
Okay, this was a journey for me. It's funny that I'm thinking, oh, you can't go to jail. It's like, no, you absolutely can go to jail if you if they catch you enough times with the whole you've been I think it's good. I get the logic. It's like one time I think that you're excused because you maybe again. I don't know how things work in Germany. Maybe I'm new here, or maybe it's just the first time that I come here as a tourist, or maybe it's again you're a tourist. Whatever, it happens. But of course, it's I think 4 or 5 times. No, there's no excuse for you to do this 4 or 5 times. So you will go to jail, which I think it's funny. But it's okay, but how much jail time are we talking about here? Is it more they'll put you in jail for a few weeks? Is it you have to go to trial, or I don't know? Is it no? We're talking about a few months sentence. And actually, I want to know how often do people go to jail for it? I think it's none of that I'm encouraging doing this, but it would be funny. I don't know. I would love to know the statistics of how many people per year actually go to jail because they get on into an S-Bahn or to a bus or to whatever method of transportation without their ticket. Would love to know. Again, that's because I would find it so funny. It's again not that the situation is funny for the person and for everyone involved, but I think from an outsider's perspective, I think it's quite funny because it's come on, you would think that you were not gonna get caught. Again, the first time it can be excused, but more than twice, no, I think that's overkill. And I'm actually shocked that they'll tell you okay, maybe you get 2 offenses, 3 offenses. I think the 4th offense is no, you're going to jail. Again, really funny because you can't keep getting away with it. But also I can see why. I think it's more than tourists probably. I would think it's actually tourists that do this, because I would think that people in Germany, again, they're putting the trust in you. They're trusting you to actually pay your ticket. And I'm guessing maybe it's we are trusting in people. And probably more Germans do follow it of yes, we're getting our ticket, even though maybe no one came to check on my ticket, but I will obviously buy it because obviously it's the law and I have to do it. And I would think maybe most Germans are of that train of thought. And I would think that probably most people that actually do get caught without a ticket, I would assume it's tourists or expats or people that just are not German. That would be like what I would expect. Maybe I'm off, maybe I'm wrong, but I don't know. I would think maybe that's the case. The other things, I think it's actually like the prices I thought were quite good. I don't know if I think because I mentioned it earlier. I was like, I think they're quite expensive. I don't know. I think it's good, especially if you compare. I think if those prices are like, however, like the one she mentioned, like it was just the ticket, like the ticket is like the all around ticket, the Dutch ticket, something like that. It's just like it's valid in all cities. That is probably the most, probably is the option that you should use if you are in like if you're moving to Germany or if you live there. It's not that expensive. Like I was expecting it to be like maybe a little bit like expensive. I don't know. It's cheaper than I thought. It's like, okay, it's just like around 60 euros per month, which I think, again, it seems steep, but again, if the thing works and you can travel like throughout the whole country, maybe it's not actually like that bad. I would actually think that even if I was visiting and I was staying there for longer than probably like 2 weeks, maybe I would get that because I know that I'm gonna go visit like a lot of different cities. So that's, I think, what I would get. I think probably I don't know. I have to make like the cost effective, and I would have to like adjust and see everything. But I don't know. I would think maybe that's a good option, even for tourists, like not even for people that live there, because it seems like a good choice. Like I think it's cheaper. The ones that are like the high speed train ones. I obviously they're not that they're excluded from these tickets, which I think, yes, of course, like it makes sense. It's kind of annoying, and I can see why you would think it's annoying, but I actually know why they obviously do this is because they want you to like, yeah, if you want more speed because you want to get places faster, it's gonna cost you extra. So it is a little bit of like, of course they do it. It's like when they'll like, I don't know, the extra when you get like extra sauces when you're getting deliver some food, and it's like, yes, the guac is extra, something like that. It's like, again, makes sense because it's a little bit extra. So it makes sense to me that those high speed trains, like, no, they're not included. If you want a specific like high speed train, obviously that goes to a certain particular city, you're gonna have to get that ticket like separate, which, again, fair, makes sense, kind of annoying for you as a customer, but again, I can see why they do it. But I love it. I think there's like a lot of good options. I think there's buses, there's subways, and there's like a lot of trains. I think trains actually is the one that can get a little bit confusing because they have like so many different types of trains. I understand that the high speed trains are more like they can go to other countries, and they can also like go. It's obviously like in between like different cities, but it's like for further distances. Obviously, it makes sense. You're not going to take a high speed train to a city that's just like 30 kilometers away. It doesn't really make that much sense to me. So it is like that. Those are the ones that are easily identifiable. But the ones that are just like the S-Bahn and the others, like that's where I think it get a little bit more confusing, because I think you would actually have to live there or at least spend a lot of time there to actually like see, okay, let me know like the actual difference. I would have to like okay, go back and like let me write it down. And obviously the buses are like, okay, it's just like one or two types of buses. Like there's one type of bus that, if I understood it correctly, it's just like the one that goes to different, like to like more remote locations. And those are obviously the ones that maybe they have more delays. Like you don't really get that many buses. Like you would maybe like if you missed your 9 p.m. bus, then you're gonna have to sleep somewhere else because like the bus is not coming back for you. And maybe they have like 2 or 3 buses like daily. But again, if they're more like remote towns and locations, again, I can see why it's that way. Because yes, it's kind of annoying. But if your people live there, of course they're not gonna put that many resources into like getting much more buses there. If like fewer people live there, that's just a matter of life. It's just like the fact of like how life works. So I love that, and I think I would love all the buses. I have a question that I was like thinking, like, yeah, if you don't have a ticket, I love all different choices. I love the machines. I think those are great, and I do love that they take cash as well. I do not love that the ones in the bus, they don't have like the little machine that you just put your card in. I do not like that because it's like, oh, okay, so you just forget you're in a hurry. I don't know, like if something happens, you need to have cash in order to like pay the bus driver. I do not like that. Hopefully they'll change that in the future, and you can get the little like card reader. And also, isn't it like a hassle? You have to tell the bus driver, hey, can I get a ticket? Like, is it quick? I don't know. I would think that people would get so annoyed, like, oh my god, this person's taking forever, like, move, we want to go. Or maybe they're like friendlier, but I know I would be kind of scared to like delay people, because I'm thinking as a tourist, and I'm just like, oh hey, can you get a ticket? And people are just like, we're running late for our jobs, like hurry up. And the bus driver needs to like stop and like print you a ticket. I don't know how the thing works, but it's like, I would think people are gonna be so annoyed with you, like the other people on the bus, if you just get like that ticket. But it's like, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know, or I had an emergency. I don't know. I think you would need to like explain them, and probably they would get more annoyed at you because you're like, you don't need to explain, like just shut up. I don't know. I have it in my brain that is like, no, I'm sorry, I don't want to make any mistakes with German people. But yeah, that was very interesting, a very interesting video, and that was it for today. Goodbye.